another edition of Checking In with Hein and Johnny, where the hosts bring in mystery topics that neither host knows anything about until the mics go hot and on the air. We are the show that keeps the host from talking about the weather and World War II 24 hours a day. Hey, Heine, man, what's on your mind?
Sitting didn't have anything. Sitting in the new Jeep.
The Jeep Gladiator. The champagne of camping, I guess. I don't know.
I would think it would be the Jeep that dominated the Coliseum.
Ooh, I like that.
Is Russell Crowe in there? Is there a picture of Russell Crowe signed into the seats? Sewn into the seats? Like the AMC Pacer Levi's edition?
Do you know a lot about the AMC Pacer, and I owned one, and you did not own one, and you know a lot about it. It's somewhat discouraging because I don't feel like I'm part of the AMC Pacer minutia.
Well, Johnny, as part of your, with the 4th of July just right around the corner, do any of your summer camping activities include hot dog eating contests?
No, I will not be consuming processed meats. I do enjoy a hot dog every once in a while, but I don't think I would eat more than 2 in a sitting. I believe they say for every hot dog you eat, it's 30 seconds off your life. And if that is true, I don't know if I want to be hot dog-less. I don't enjoy them that much. I'll take pepperoni and Brunschwager, but I don't think I want 7,200 hot dogs in my bowels.
Speaking of, well, I mean, if you had that many hot dogs, in your digestive system, would you consider a coffee enema?
I have not had a colonoscopy yet, but no doctor has offered me a caffeinated colonoscopy. The hot topic in the articles today is, I guess, super fancy rich people think that coffee enemas are all the rage. Everybody's loving the mochaccino up the keister. And the doctors are saying, what is wrong with you guys? Your rectum is not made for coffee. So why would they think that's okay?
Yeah. Is that where the caffeine is absorbed? Is way down at the last exit?
I don't think, there's no way, right? The last exit to Eden is not where you get the jolt. Who even thinks of this is delicious coffee? What if I put it up my butt?
Is this around the backside of Starbucks?
The backside of water is probably more beautiful than the waterfalls. Ridiculous.
Are you paying to have this done? You just do it. You do it. Yeah, is there a home kit you can order on Amazon?
DIY fun with your anus. I always hear of these. I know a couple of people that are in nursing and have been in ERs, and all sorts of stuff gets stuck up there. I mean, all sorts of. The huge joke is the Darth Vader. I've never had a Darth Vader removed from my rectum. That makes me laugh that you couldn't get it out and Darth Vader had to be pulled out with some scepters.
That is like an action figure or something.
Yeah. Yeah. You go to the ER because your Darth Vader action figure needs to be removed with forceps. Okay. So the first guy who eats, the cactus bloom and it's delicious and they love it and then they don't die, so everybody's like, well, that was delicious and he's not dead. But that guy also ate, rhubarb. A different guy ate rhubarb leaves and he died. So the first dude to do the coffee mocha, you got to have something inside of you that wants to adventure your life, right?
There it is. And there are people there who are, for a small fee, are happy to do it for you.
Yeah, college campuses, everybody knows, when you're in college, there's like 72, posters up. Hey, join for $48. Join our specialized research. All you got to do. Oh my gosh, when I was in Southern California back in the day, you could be a person that demos medical equipment. And one of the medical equipments that I was assigned to was a scanner, like having a sonogram of the baby in that first, trimester. So they would sonogram all parts of you, and each group would come up every half hour, and they would sonogram my body, and every group would say, "Ooh, what's that? What's that tree-looking thing?" Well, it was just a tech at the company, going around. So at the end of the day, thankfully, the dude goes, "Oh, and by the way, 80 people have been looking at the tree we've all been gasping at." He says, "It's nothing. It is nothing you need to worry about. You're not going to die." But I guess something appears to be a tree in my body, and people were excited every 30 minutes to see it.
Well, at least it wasn't a Power Rangers action figure.
Well, they didn't see it, but I had a gremlin shoved up my rectum, and they didn't notice that. I guess I must have signed a waiver that they didn't get down to the genitalia areas.
The colo scan.
And when we were not normal adults, which I guess I'm still not, but did you ever hear a phrase called gooch? The gooch? I might have learned it on. I've referenced the movies.
No, the girls in high school weren't running around talking about gooch. Gooch, please enlighten me.
So
gooch.
I think it must have been Johnny Knoxville that uses this phrase. It's the area between the junk and the baseball hole. And they reference saying it's the gooch. So there is a place in Virginia whenever we're going camping that's called Goochland. So my mind lights up every time we go by the exit because of that. I'm such an idiot.
What happens in Goochland?
Well, I can tell you one thing, that if you take one of my heart medications that keeps me from having a stroke is called Eliquis, and one of the side effects is that area becomes inflamed and enlarged, the gooch. So I ask you, that's a horrendous side effect. What is the worst side effect that you can think of that you've seen on all these medications? The death, but death is, I mean, that's the easy way out, isn't it? What's like the worst side effect?
You know, usually when those commercials come on, I'm hitting the remote. I don't make it to
Beep.
what the most
Beep.
horrible side effects.
And some of the medications.
They read all that stuff. It's like, why would you take it?
Why would you take it?
Suffering be to risk all that?
Why? And some of the medications, are just for like a light dermatology item. Oh, but you could one of the side effects. One of the side effects was, your skin could burn off of you from the inside, leading to psychosis and death. That sounded like the absolute worst one that I could think of. I mean, an inflamed gooch, I probably could handle that. But by golly, my skin detaching from my muscular structure and then inflaming and burning itself off of me. No thanks. And I think the medication was just for dry eye. That's all it was for.
Yeah, I would move to a more humid climate, I think.
All right, so our one viewer, Chris, has told me repeatedly that she is sick of us talking about the caboose and about poop. She's sick of it. She thinks we're morons. But we don't try and think of things to say about it. They're articles, they're medications. We have to talk about it. I'm sorry. It's just, it's the constitution of the pod.
Let's see if I can start and remember and refresh the laundry list of things that we talk about on the show that then I am criticized harshly about by one of our listeners somewhere. One of them is talking about women that I think are hot. That draws a lot of small arms fire from all over the place. But speaking of that, did you see that Jeremy Clarkson on Clarkson's farm has gotten rid of Caleb, the assistant, and hired a new 24-year-old, let's call her a fresh face, to help him around the farm?
To help him.
To me, that's just more exploitation of women. And I am probably not ever going to watch the show again, knowing that there might be some voluptuous young woman there she could be wearing short shorts, the kind they wear in Europe, like that the men shouldn't wear. Sometimes they put them on the women, and then, you don't want to see that.
On an elderly man.
Show that's ruined by a barbaric insertion of a 24-year-old.
There's that on that topic. It's a hot topic. We need to talk about the social, why it's okay for TV shows to get a little extra bump. We need an intern that's a 20-year-old co-ed intern that's wearing a thong. That will get the views. I don't know how.
That.
I don't.
Anybody wandering around the camp ground this morning, Johnny? That you can,
No, we're in Virginia Beach.
Ice into the back of your Jeep.
That would be an interesting intern interview, wouldn't it?
Yeah, maybe it could probably turn into a SWAT situation.
Christina,
What? Yeah.
you're not imprisoned. We just need to do an intern interview for this podcast. It's on camera. Now, take off all your clothes.
All right.
What's that? They used to call that the producer's couch or something like that in Hollywood. All the poor starlets from Omaha trying to get a job, they'd end up on the producer's couch. In our case, we just need the bump so bad. They don't even need to get a job. They just need to be on camera so we can get one more view, or we can get double our views by getting someone to watch other than Chris.
I mean, I don't know if it's because I'm old or what it is, but back in the 70s, you could be happily watching Charlie's Angels or something, and there they'd be all on Bogsley's boat or whoever that was, and they never went to a station break where they brought up, an ad for Depends. But immediately took it like, yeah, maybe I'm just older. Did they have those ads back then?
They did not, my friend. No Cialis.
Yeah, no. Oh,
no hymns.
Mm-hmm.
No Depends. But I feel like a way lower on the society's ladder when the show I'm watching is nothing but erectile dysfunction commercials and adult diapers. Because AI has figured out I'm the only loser watching this show, and I need to control my urine throughout the day.
Yeah, that's when you're watching TV and all of a sudden you go like, oh, this is what they're advertising? Am I the target market for this?
I am the target audience for him's erectile dysfunction. Don't you love it? The ads, all of the ads for erectile dysfunction, vodka, it's all literally 18-year-old co-eds partying, having a blast. But the reality is, it's not 18-year-olds. It's just a bunch of old dudes. I mean, I love it. The ads.
I always like the ads where the couple that is probably our age, I'm sure they're older than us, is running along the beach in their white muslin outfits.
In slow-mo.
You jog on the beach, you're camping. Did you bring any, outfits that are, not sweatpants that you can go run on the beach in?
White muslin. She has a cape that's flowing behind her like Batman. Oh, thank goodness we got the doctor to sign off on that Cialis. I love it. Well, speaking of mating, so an article came up because the algorithm has figured out that I will stop on any video that has to do with cool fish. Any scuba videos, they just hit me. It's just endless. I would be able to sit and watch underwater videos of creatures all day long, and they know it. So it's scorpion, creature, manta, shark, Depends ad. Scorpion, anyway. So there's a fish called the angler fish, and the angler fish female swims around happily. And get this, the male angler fish attaches to the female body, but then is absorbed into the body of the female angler fish. It connects, and then it just slowly goes into it just disappears. It just becomes a part
Is
Now
that
that's
one
a
of,
marriage.
is that one of God's creatures, or is that a creature that was created by women?
Was that one that was conceived in a university lab? They're
Yeah,
like,
it's like the seahorses. Oh yeah, no, you're carrying the 80 million babies.
and the fish that carry them in their mouth. Oh man. So you're getting created, it's in the book of Genesis, and you're in the line and you're coming up, and they're like, "Oh, you're the fish that will hold the babies in your mouth, and you'll be assimilated into your female partner's body. You will be no more. It will just suck your soul and your physical body away. Gone." And
I
you're
like,
like,
yeah,
"Sign me up."
I like isn't there a species of frogs that has their babies that live and hatch in their, out of the back of the frog's back bacon? I like that one.
Nice.
You know who created that animal? You know who created that animal? Dr. Pimple Popper. Dr.
Oh,
Lee. She's like, boom, I've got it. Instead of blackheads, let's have a bunch of little baby frogs crawling down the back.
I love that. I love that. Um,
They've never had those frogs on.
Surprise, Sarah and Jimmy are climbing out of their back. I watched a video of a moth, and the moth's in the little chrysalis thing, and the moth is born with really sharp edges, and they hack at it. So it's like a horror movie, like a very gruesome looking movie. And that's what I imagine the babies coming out of my back, just hacking at. Oh, there was a movie
It's
back
like
in.
the frog has little tiny arms, and he probably can't like get back there and
He's like,
pop
what the?
them out all over the mirror.
He can't do anything about the pimple popping necessity, and he can't get an appointment because he has no opposable thumbs to use the cell phone. He needs pimple popper. Every time we talk about pimple popper, views go up, baby. The world loves it when you talk about Dr. Pimple Popper.
Absolutely.
So there were a couple of things we have discussed, the things that you need to worry about if you're getting older before. Well, one of the things, if you suddenly, they said one of the signs of being subject to being senile and getting dementia and Alzheimer's is if you nap excessively. Are you a big napper?
Johnny, I wish I was a napper.
Yeah, never.
No, that's sometimes I've kind of had to back off the pasta and rice dishes around lunchtime because then sometimes my head will land in my soup back at work. But no, I am not a big napper. Unfortunately, I'd probably love to take a nap. How about you?
Even if
Napping?
even if you've like accidentally got up, you had to pee, it's 3 a.m., but your brain just won't stop spinning. If you're up at 3 a.m. and you go back to bed, you don't ever get back to bed. You even then won't take a nap.
Well, that just never happens. If I get up in the middle of the night, I get up and I'm right back to sleep.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
You're that good of a
Pretty much.
sleeper.
Every once in a while, if I have, I'll sit there and ruminate about, sending the email. And
Yeah.
sometimes if I'm wise, well, yeah. So, but no, I pretty much sleep. It's just staying kind of active during the day. You sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're active enough, sleep is not as difficult to get.
If I ride my bike, I'm gonna be down and out.
That's wise. You're a wise man. Now, are you the dude that has his dog with him when he's riding the bike? They're like running around in front and in back and knocking the bike rider over?
No, my dogs are just at home chasing rats and squirrels around the backyard and keeping the neighbors annoyed. It's on my bike rides, I can hear my dogs barking at squirrels from a mile
While
away.
you're away.
Little dog, massive voice. Last night, I had to come home from a dinner to shut up my dog. And so now it's like, oh, if we leave the house, we're going to have to lock her up.
Bummer.
Because she is just so loud.
Man.
That's your blue tick coonhound. And if your backyard, if your neighborhood is infested with varmints.
Incessant.
Yes. She is just out in the backyard yelling, "Bring a shotgun now."
We're being attacked.
Hurry.
Tora. It's Pearl Harbor in here.
She never catches them and kills them. Just they're up in a tree. She's
yeah. Oh man, the neighbors probably love you.
They don't. They want to. That's when FEMA comes in and condemns the neighborhood. You get a bunch of hillbillies from the backwoods moving in. So really, these people just have their government to thank for this.
They will do nothing about Henry and his coon hounds.
That you can call the cops, but probably by the time the cops show up, she's gone to bed or. So it's kind of like, sorry, man.
Oops. My bad.
How about your new little friend? You're camping at the beach.
Camping at the beach. We went to Virginia Beach for Mother's Day. Mom wanted to see the ocean, get her tootsies in the ocean. And the surprising thing is we get here and crazy people are swimming in the ocean at 10 p.m. And Henry, it is ice cold in that water. I mean, like ice cold. And it's like little kids and adults, crazy people. But man, do you enjoy a freezing cold frolic in the ocean?
Who am I with? Is it with the show? Oh.
With the intern?
No, I don't like that.
No.
I don't like going anywhere near stimulating bodies of water. Not even, I abhor seeing someone pour an ice cold bucket of water over somebody's head. I have to turn away during the Gatorade dumps. That part of the game. Turn it out.
You are so much wiser than when we started this pod. In the beginning, 8 months ago, you stupidly just fell down that, and now you're very wise. You will not publicly be berated by your fans. I applaud you. And I completely got off topic. One of our hillbilly friends had a hound dog. And since now you're on the pod and you talk about your hound dogs all the time, Allison's like, "Oh, really? You have a hound dog?" She goes, "Yeah, they are great dogs. They live a long time." We had one hound dog, she said, that lived 18 years. And Allison's like, 18 years? That's the pet for me. Allison and I do not like dogs dying on us. So as soon as she said that,
you're loud enough.
So Allison wanted to know the trick. I mean, how did she get this doggy to be so fantastic with longevity? So the lady goes, "Well, it was a unique situation. we would just throw out raw meat onto the back porch, and then the dog would go run and have fun for a week and come back for some more raw meat in a few days. I'm like, what? That, you didn't own that dog. That dog, that, that dog was from the cartoons when he goes up to the restaurant at the Lady in the Tram. I mean, that wasn't your dog. But yeah, I guess they got animal services. The neighbors called animal services on him a few times because I guess you can't own a dog and just let them literally live outside your house 365 days a year. But
in our neighborhood, there were, but that is a hound dog's life. I mean,
they just love it.
It's just, yeah. And now with the encroach of society, and that's our dog. One of our hounds was raised in a Salt Lake apartment, and so he literally will throw the toys to himself to play because he, it just sat at home.
That's awesome.
In the apartment all the time. It's kind of sad, really, but
it's not what they like.
Yeah, that's our world. Is they're just laws about everything, and down in Mexico there are none of these laws, and they're not enforced. So dogs just run wild.
Yeah.
In the streets. Some of them happy, some of them not.
Yeah.
But,
not fun.
Yeah, good old coonhound running through the forest, showing up and eating meat, and you got enough space for that to happen. That's just a happy
I applaud you. That's a happy dog. And hey, let's face it, Henry. The dog lived the absolute maximum amount of time a hound dog can live. I mean, you're talking 18 years. That's the best life he ever had.
Yeah, and I don't think they live, my experience is they don't live that long. They're burning out. They're, but, they're good, loud years. And if you have hearing loss, they're great dogs.
They are perfect. You'll hear them just the right amount. If you're deaf as a doornail, any hearing loss because of all the Ramones records that you played too loud and Rolling Stones albums?
Probably, yeah. Gabba Gabba Hey. That's. I don't know if my doctor. I'll get tested, and they'll say, yeah, you got a little hearing loss in one ear or the other.
Okay.
But, that doesn't stop me from captioning the TV.
Oh, are you kidding? Particularly English shows from Great Britain. I got the caption on 24/7 because I can't understand a word they say, and all of them are so dramatic. They talk so quiet. I can't. I mean, and then the music. Am I the only person that the music is like 100 decibels, and then the talking is like they're whispering their secrets between their love and of their life? I can't hear a word of dialogue. Am I it? Am I the only person that has that problem?
No, it's everybody.
It's the common problem. Well, I definitely have very little hearing loss, and I have that problem in spades. Another issue that folks like us have, if you, back at the napping, if you nap excessively, you may be on the road to getting yourself a dementia kit in your house. So don't nap they say napping normally in the afternoon, that's okay. But if you nap excessively, goodbye, Harriet. You're not going to know what your name is soon.
Napping excessively, leaving your phone in the fridge.
Yep. And there is one more. If you if every time you grab your sandals, you grab a pair of black compression socks and wear them with your sandals, you are already a dementia victim. You're already done.
I've seen, I've seen they've got, I don't know if they're a detention center or a camp where they just are going out on the streets and rounding up. I think there's a special governmental agency. They round up anybody who's wearing compression socks and Crocs. That's just another reason I don't wear Crocs in public.
You could be picked up by the fashion police at any moment.
Here's another one. This is probably another sign of dementia, or, well, what they say is it's emasculating, is when you lean in to your wife in a photo. I'll never do that again. I am going to be standing as tall as a pine tree in my colon when in any photos now, looking like Napoleon.
So tell me more about this. Is they're saying that we're being buttholes by doing that?
No, you're just being kind of a pansy. If you lean in, oh, let me get a little closer, honey.
Oh.
I'm slouching down to come to your height because I'm 6'8" and you're 4'10". Let me lean in. Rather than just, take your 4'10" wife and put her on your shoulders and then have a photo. Take your shirt off, lift her up, boom, and woo.
And then slap her hard on the face. Knock her down. Give her a bruised eye. Well, I mean, I never even thought of that as being bad. I mean, the dudes with the photos back in the 1800s, they weren't leaning in.
Nobody's leaning in. And
they're angry hombres.
Not afraid of bees.
Those he-men did not mind anaphylactic shock.
Yeah,
they loved it.
I mean, you've got to be at the garden party, and if your date says, "Honey, why is your tongue and cheek? Why are you drooling out of your swollen tongue and cheek?" And you just say, "Oh, there was a wasp. My last bite of salmon bisque was covered in wasps."
My gosh. Oh
man.
That's a man. Oh my heck. I can't even breathe. I'm laughing so hard.
Here's another one. And another one is we go to all these events and they say, "Oh, we've got a special mocktail, or our cocktail of the night is peach fuzzy navel sex on the beach. Would you like one of those?" It's like, no, I'm not going to be seen walking around this party holding one of those fruit cups. Give me scotch on the rocks, or neat. Just give me drinking your whiskey straight is something that a guy told me, a World War II veteran said to me at a very young age. Henry, men drink their whiskey straight. Those cocktails and things, those are for the ladies. They're fine for the ladies.
Nice. That's good advice. You're a he-man.
No more Malibu and Coke for me.
You will refuse to have a light blue beverage with a blinking light at the bottom and a sprig of chive that you're battling to drink.
Don't ever let that get out to the car club.
I hope this photo never goes viral.
No, there are a lot of man laws. And now I think, with the attack on men, it's like I just enforce those man laws more.
Yeah. You do. You would like to like to keep your man card at all times, particularly all the he-man in the car club. Mm-hmm. I like it. Mm-hmm. I have very few masculine bones in my body. Hint, hint. For sure. I do not have friends that berate me for not being too manly. All of my friends, I guess, are just too artsy fartsy. I get no heat for trouble.
If
Hey,
I order a coffee, if I order a coffee somewhere and I say something like, whisper very quietly into the microphone, or perhaps even a better idea, slip the barista a note that
a
says
note.
extra whipped cream, I make sure there's a damn lid on that coffee.
Yeah, you don't want to, no man.
A lid. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very emasculating when you've got fancy items added to beverages for men. I don't have that trouble, Henry. I'll order I'll whipped cream will be billowing out like a Holocaust victim's H-bomb, just bursting out. I have no scruples. You got me. You totally got me today. I have not laughed so hard on the pod since the dripping mucusy oysters on the Christmas tree. That one got me today. All right. So we'll finish with this. I love top 5 lists. I love them. And our states, the one that you lived most of your life with in Utah, and then your adopted state, New Mexico, and then my brand new state, I have not lived here very long, Virginia. My state killed it. I have 2 top 10 spots on one of the greatest lists of the year. Albuquerque, New Mexico, and Utah, not even the top 10. They didn't even scratch it. You know how when they best state, healthiest state, you didn't even. Well, this list was very specific. And I'm proud to say that I live in Virginia today. Virginia has 2 cities on the highest opioids overdose in the nation. No Utah and no New Mexico cities at all. And I've got 2. I got Richmond and Galax, Virginia, top 10 positions. Number 1, Washington, D.C. We love our opioid addictions. We love them. I'm proud.
Yeah.
I'm proud.
There you go.
You got any members of your family get addicted to opioids and then later die?
Not family members. Friends.
Okay.
Children of friends, a couple of them.
Yeah, it's you hurt your back in your 20s, they got you on it.
Oh yeah, on the pills.
Yeah, they get you on the pills, and then the doctor won't prescribe you the pills, and then if you need to buy those pills, they're $100 a pop, and then heroin's 4 cents.
Yeah, our neighbor's son just probably last year passed away on that. Had some pain medications prescribed for something, and then couldn't get off of it. And then one day just took 1 pill too many.
Yep, there it is.
And
yep.
Oops. Yeah, that's terrifying and horrible.
Terrifying. You hurt your back. Old people don't seem to have the problem with the overdose on the opioids. They just slowly wither away on the opioids when you when the doctor says, Gladys, it's this pain, this Tylenol, this extra strength Tylenol, it's not doing it for you. You're in too much pain. If they say the word Valium or morphine to you, just know that you've got about 4 months to live.
Yeah, there's that. Well, you know why the old people don't OD on this stuff as much? Because they can't find them.
Yeah, they're lost. They're 7,200. They're in the lime jello.
behind the stack of cell phones.
That's right. Well put, Henry. Until next week, bye-bye.
Enjoy the beach, brother.
Thanks for listening to Checking In with Hein and Johnny. You can follow all things Hein and Johnny by subscribing to Checking In with Hein and Johnny anywhere you listen to podcasts. Checking In with Heine and Johnny is sponsored by Conveyors and Equipment. They supply, design, and service all types of conveyors, belting, and material handling equipment since 1972. With 3 locations to serve you, Salt Lake City, Albuquerque, and El Paso. Find them on the web at conveyequip.com. That's ConveyeEquuip.com.